All right, this is day 2 of 6.5. This is basically how to do what I would consider to be the hardest problems in this chapter. It's good to focus on them on a single day instead of lumping them in with the rest of the section. So we are going to follow the same general process that we've been doing, okay? Except why this is hard is because these become quadratics that you have to either solve by factoring or quadratic formula or whatever method you like or is the easiest for that situation. So when we are solving a equation that has a square root in it, our goal is always just to get the square root by itself first. Okay, so what I need to do here first is add my 2x to the other side. And I have the square root of 11x plus 3 is equal to 2x. Now, again, our process is once the square root is by itself, we want to square to cancel out the square root. So I want to square this side, and I want to square this whole side. So I put that whole side in parentheses there, okay? This square cancels out the square root, so I have 11x plus 3 equals. Here, I square both of those things. Now, I can do that because this is a monomial. If it's a monomial, then you can kind of distribute this squaring. Okay, if it was a binomial, then you can't. But this is 4x squared. Now, what I'm left with here is a quadratic. To solve any quadratic, first you need to make it say equals 0. So first I'm going to minus 11x to the other side. And now I minus 3, and I get that 0 equals 4x squared minus 11x minus 3. Okay, now you could type that into John Rick. I'm going to solve it by factoring just to show you how to do it by hand. Okay, I'm looking for two numbers. To create 4x squared, I can kind of see this one in my head right now. So to create 4x squared, I'm going to have 4x and x in front. I'm now looking for two numbers that multiply to be negative 3. The number that goes right there is going to get multiplied by 4. It's going to add to be negative 11. Okay, so this is going to be minus 3 here and plus 1 here, because 4x times negative 3 is negative 12x, 1 and x is plus 1, negative 12 plus 1 is negative 11. So this, of course, gives me an answer of positive 3. Okay, here I set this equal to 0 to get my other answer. I get that 4x equals negative 1, so when I divide by 4, I get that x equals negative 1/4. Okay, so pretty easy, but you just have to remember that you got to solve by factoring it. Okay. One other example here. Let's try this one. I got the square root of 3x plus 13 minus 5 equals x. Okay. Again, make sure you remember the goal is to get the square root by itself. So the first thing I want to do is add 5. So I've got the square root of 3x plus 13 equals x plus 5. Now, the square root's by itself, so it's time to square. Again, I need to square this whole side, so I put parentheses around it. Okay, so I'm just left with 3x plus 13 on this side. Now, this is what I was saying earlier. This is not x squared plus 25. It's not. When I square a binomial, this turns into a FOIL problem. This is x plus 5 times x plus 5. Okay, so I've got x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25. So that's x squared plus 10x plus 25. Okay, now, what I have here is a quadratic. Let's make it say equals 0. So that 13 equals x squared plus 7x plus 25. Now minus 13. I got that 0 equals x squared plus 7x plus 12. And now again, you can type that into John Rick, or you can solve by factoring. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to be 12 but add to be 7, which is plus 3 and plus 4. So my answers, of course, are negative 3 and negative 4. Okay, that's it. It becomes a quadratic that you have to solve using John Rick or solve by factoring. You can use John Rick if you want to, okay? All right.